Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. In last class, we know that some important concept of the one-dimensional of arrays about accessing the elements, initialization and the declaration of the arrays. Now in today's class, we are going to complete one program, and this program going to tell about to read the elements into the array and printing the elements. Okay, here. So in this program, I am going to input some value into the array, as well as whatever the value I inputted through the keyboard, such value going to display. So this is the meaning of the question, to read the elements into the array and print the elements. So first of all, in this case, I am using the header file. The header file is the hash include IO stream. As we know that without the header file IO stream, not possible to import, or we can say no any printing of the data here. The IO, import O, output, stream, objects here. Okay, so this is the first header file. Now the second header file, maybe I want to use conio and getch. Sure, we need to use in the program. That means the header file is the hash include conio.h. Okay, by using the angle bracket, left angle bracket and right angle bracket we need to use here. And the third header file, maybe I want to display the value or any type of the information one by one. Then the header file is the iomany.h. Okay, iomany.h here. And later next one is about, as we know that many input output manipulation. Okay, here. And later next one, after that the program going to start by using the function only called as the void main here. As we know that the main instruct the compiler to start the program, and the main should be write in lowercase letter and should not be terminated by semicolon. Okay, so this is about main. And after completing the main, when you are going to open the flower bracket, that means it indicates starting of the program, opening of the program. We are going to start the program. So this is the meaning of the flower bracket. And after the flower bracket, sure, what are the variables we need to complete? That means which variable you want to use in the program, such variable declaration we need to do it here. So first of all, to declare any type of the variable should contain the data type. Okay, here. So here I am using the data type int. As we know that what are the values I am going to take? The values or the number of collection are 56, 67, 98, 12, 10. So what are the numbers I used? All numbers are in whole numbers, WHOLE, whole numbers. The whole numbers means, that means the full number here, and don't have or such number not containing any type of the fractional point. Okay, and later first of all we need to use the data type int here, and later next one, sure, the array name with the size. Okay, the array name, and the array name is the a here, and the number of elements, how many elements I want to use, the 5. Okay, and later next one, as well as I want to use the variable I. Why I am using the variable I? As we know that here number of the elements are there. In case if number of elements are there, means sure, first of all it going to access 0 position value, second time 1 position value, next time second position value. So depend on the last position value, it going to access one by one. So this is the use of the I variable, and with that I want to use one more variable. The variable is the n. The n means number of the elements. Okay, ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಸಪರೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ comma and finally terminate by using the semicolon. And after the declaration as a comment line, we can use declaration of the variables a of I, n. okay, and later as we know that we used header file is the our conio, so CLR SCR open close semicolon to clear the screen, okay, to clear the screen. Now before going to enter the value one by one here, now first of all I want to display one message, how many number of element I want to use in the program. So just I am using one message, that means in case if you want to wish to write any message by using cout and the operator opening of the double quotation, and later next one I am using enter number of elements, okay, enter number of elements here, number of elements, and later next one I am using the colon to look my message attractive, and later closing of the double quotation and the semicolon, okay. So this type of message going to display, and we know that sin of n, the sin of n, that means when it going to display I am entering the value through the keyboard, that is 5, okay, that is 5 here. So that means first of all ನಮಗೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಎನ್ನಿನ ಸೈಜ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಟರ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಎನಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್, and n means number of the element, the size of the elements here, and later next one after using the size of the element, then sure what are the elements are there, I want to write one by one here. So I am using the message cout operator opening of the double quotation, enter elements one by one, okay, enter elements one by one here, and later next one colon, after that closing of the double quotation semicolon. But in case if you want to display the value one after the another, then how you are going to write, that means first of all you need to close the double quotation, then you have to use the operator end line semicolon. If you don't want just only as a horizontal, that means here we can say that in horizontal manner, that means left to right, if you want to display in this manner 10 20 30 40, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ 10 20 ಈ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ sure you need to give the end line. So clear this point here. So we can say that this is the uses of the end line, and this is, that means without the use of the end line the value going to display here. So now after completing the enter the elements one by one here, then sure I am going to access the value, that is from 0 position, I is equal to 0, I less than n, okay, till the number of the elements, the condition going to satisfied, okay. So till the number of the elements the condition going to satisfied. So how I am writing the condition for I is equal to 0 semicolon, I less than n, I plus plus ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ number of elements 5 ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, I value is equal to 0, okay. Now no any problem, then it just checking the condition, 0 value is less than 5, when you are going to check 0 value is less, when you are going to compare with 5 as 0 is less, when you are going to compare with 5, then sure it accepting the value, inputting the value through the keyboard, okay, it accessing or inputting the value through the keyboard. Which value going to access, the 0 position value, 0 position value ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0 position ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ value ಇರ್ತದೆ ಆ value access ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, clear this point here. So a of I ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ I value is to 0, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 0 position value. Next one I plus plus, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ I 0 ಅಲ್ಲ, 0 position value already access ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, I plus plus 0 plus 1, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ next 1 position value ಅನ್ನು access ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಪುನಃ it going to check the condition whether one value, now I value is not equal to 0, now I value is 1, checking one value is less, when you are going to compare with the 5 here, as condition is true, that means it accessing the first position value, okay here. So like that it will go one by one here till the condition becomes satisfied, okay here. And later, so this 3 line we are using just only to read the elements from the array, clear this point here. through the input device. ನಾವು ಈ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಬರೀತೇವೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಈ 3 ಲೈನ್ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ now just only what are the elements I inputted, no such value I want to display, okay, on screen here. That means sure we need to write the coding. So see out, then elements are, clear this point, or printing elements are any type of message. If you want you can write it, okay. So later this see out elements are, so I used by using the double quotation. As we know that with the double quotation means message going to display, without double quotation means here what's the value we providing to the variable, such value going to display here. And later next one, sure, that means from which position value you want to display the number. I want to display the number from 0 position, so I is equal to 0, I less than n here, I plus, okay, here I plus, and later next one after that just only we know that here to display the value. And how we are going to display the value, that means I want to leave some of the space between the numbers, so I use set W4. Don't use by using double quotation. In case if you are using set W4 in double quotation, that means it going to display the message as set W4 here, but don't use the double quotation, okay here. And later next one is after that A of I, clear this one here, A of I. So this is the coding. These 3 coding is using to input the value through the keyboard here, and these 3 coding are using just only to print the value, okay. So what's the value we inputted, such value going to print. Elements are, then I is equal to 0. It depend on the condition. n value ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಮೇ ಬಿ n value 6 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 6 ವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. 0 ಇಂದ 5 ವರೆಗೆ, 6 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 0 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 0 to 5. ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 7 ಸೈಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 0 to 6, 8 ಸೈಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 0 to 7. Clear this one? So till that it going to satisfy the condition. So like that till where condition going to satisfy, it imprinting the value one by one here. As we know that first of all it printing the 0 position value, correct, no? Later next one I plus is the 1 position value, I plus second position value. So like that depend on the position value, depend on the I value, it going to print the value. As we know that before going to complete the program, sure we need to use the function. The function is the get ch open close semicolon, and later next one closing of the flower bracket, okay. So ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಈ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದ ನಂತರ, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದ ನಂತರ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಿಂಗ್ each and every point properly here, then sure you are going to compile the program, okay. If no any error in the program, if any error, sure while going to compile the program you will get some of the errors here. So later you have to correct all those errors, and later if no any error, that means sure you are going to run the program, okay. One option is that to run the program. So when you are going to run the program, you will get one screen. In screen first of all you will get the message as the enter the number of ELE, okay, kya enter the number of ELE element here. I used ELE means the element, okay, element. On that time through the keyboard you need to enter 5, okay. And later next one after that second message displaying as the enter ELE one by one. So what's the value you want to enter through the keyboard one by one you need to enter, and later next one again displaying the message elements are. So what's the message you inputted, such message going to display on the screen. So this is about our, it's a very important question to read and print the elements of one dimensional array, okay. Now after completing the one dimensional array, now let's will go to solve our next practical program. So the question of the program, write a program to find sum and average of n numbers. So clear the question. So again I want to repeat the question. The question asks the write a program to find the sum and average of n numbers here. So in this program we are going to find out what's the sum of the number or what's the average of the n numbers here. So first of all, just to find out the sum and average, first of all we need to read the number of elements to the array or the number of elements to be stored in the array here. So n value is equal to, maybe here we can say that n value is equal to 6. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ನಾನು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, 0 to 5 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವರೆಗೆ ನಾನು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. 0 to 5 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. So n value is equal to 6 second. In case of the second, now what are the element I want to input through the keyboard? Just I am going to use the elements are, so 23 and later 6, 11, 24, 5, 30. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾನು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, input ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. So we know that 0, its position is 0, position is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we know that number of elements is equal to 6. But 6 that is equal to 0 to 5. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, 0 ಇಂದ 5 ವರೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ, 23, 6, 11, 24, 5, 30. Okay. Now third one, the third point here, I am initializing the variable that is sum value is equal to 0. Clear this point here. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲಿನ ಹೆಸರು sum and later I am initializing value to the variable sum that is equal to 0. And later next one is just we know that first of all we need to find out the sum value. Correct no? First of all ನಮಗೆ sum value ನಮಗೆ find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ sum value ಅನ್ನು? So we can say that the element of the array is then added to the variable sum one by one. Correct no? First of all 23, ಅದರ ನಂತರ 23 6 ಆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 29 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ 29 ಗೆ 11 ಆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಗ 40. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಟು 40 24 ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಡ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವ 64 ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ 64 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 5, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ 5 ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಡ್ 69. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ 69 plus 30, finally the sum value will get as the 99. So just to get the value of the sum here, just what are the procedure I am going to use, now I am going to tell here. So first of all, in this case I am using iteration, okay, and later next one value of a, and also I am using sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Okay, so all are the columns I am going to use just to get the value of the sum in this case. So first of all, the first column is the iteration. As we know that starting position 0 in the just 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct here? Going to start from the value 0 and reached till number 5, that is equal to 6. 0 to 5, that is equal to 6 here. And value of a, as we know that position 0 only the value 23, the position of a of 1 the value 6 here, the position of a of 2 the value 11, the position of a of 3 the value 24, the position of a of 4 the value 5 here, the position of a of 5 the value 30. So clear this point here. What I return in case of the second column, so in case of the second column I completed the value of the array a here. Okay, so maybe we can say that this is the name of the array is the a. So value of a 0 positionally 23 ಇದೆ, 1 positionally 6 ಇದೆ, we already know about this one. Second positionally 11 ಇದೆ, third positionally value 24, fourth position 5, fifth positionally value 30 ಇದೆ. Correct no? Now sum value calculation ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಹೇಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Okay, sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Now first of all ನಾನು sum ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, 0. So 0 plus a of I, that means the a of I in a of I means in 0 position, going to start from the 0 position here. So a of 0, so in 0 position what's the value is there, the value is 23. Clear this point here, the value is 23. When you are going to add 0 plus 23, the value is 23. Clear this point here, the value is 23, that means this sum value is equal to 23. Clear this point here. And later next one, after that, as we know that in starting step the sum value is equal to 0. So how I completed, sum plus a of I, sum value is equal to 0 plus a of I 23, 0 plus 23, now the value is equal to 23, sum value is not the 0, now sum value is equal to 23. Now after that, now sum value is 23 plus, now in first position what's the value? 6. So 23 plus 6, the value is 29. So this sum value, now this sum value is equal to 29. Next thing, now sum value is 29 plus next value is the 11. So when you are adding 29 plus 11, the value is 40. Now the sum value is equal to 40. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0 ಇತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು 0 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. 0 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 23, ಸೊ 0 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 23 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ? 23. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸಮ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಸಮ್ 0 ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. What's the value of the sum? The sum value is equal to 23. So 23 sum value we get a of first position value add ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. one by one we are need to add, correct? No, what's the value of what's the meaning of the column sum is equal to sum plus a of I? That means the element of the array is then added to the variable sum one by one. Clear this one? Okay, now later next one is the, now the sum value is 40 plus later next one the value 24, the 24, now the value we can say that 64. Now sum value is equal to 64 here, and later next one, now sum value is 64 plus now the value is 5. Later next one, the sum value is equal to 69. Okay, and later next one, lastly the 69 sum value is there, no such one going to add the value 30. Now what's the value of the sum? Lastly we can say that sum value is equal to 99. Okay, later what's no any value are there to add, whatever the value are there. So 0 1 2 3 4 5, that means the iteration going to start from 0 to 5, that is equal to 6. 0 in the start agide, 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, total number of element 6 here. So just only when you are going to count 0 1 2 3 4 5, here also 0 1 2 3 4 and 5 here. So we can say that while going to make this solution here, what's the sum answer? The sum answer we can say that the sum answer is equal to, the sum value is equal to 99. Okay, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ the value of the sum and the average. Clear this one here? Okay, now just we got the value of the sum value here. Now after getting the sum, not just only the sum, with that we need to find out the value of the average, correct? Now so I am finding the average value. Average value ಹೇಗೆ find out ಮಾಡೋದು? So the average value going to find out, that is sum divided by the number of the elements. Sum value ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ? 99, correct? No, 99 divide by number of elements 6. Clear this point here? Number of elements, n value ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? Number of elements 6. So 99 ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದ sum value. So average value ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ sum value divide by number of elements. Okay kya? And lastly we can say that the average value will get as the 16.50. Okay, so average value is the 16.50. So here we can say that hence finally we'll getting the result, or hence the result is the sum is 99, average is 16.50. Now just we completed the solution of our find sum and average of n numbers. As we know that how we find out the sum of the numbers, n numbers, and as well as the average of the n numbers. Now let's the flow chart of the sum and average of n numbers. As we know that by using terminal symbol we are going to start the program, and later next one, first of all just only we should know it, what's the number of the size of the elements. Okay, no, or we can say in simple meaning number of the elements, that is only called as the size of the elements here, or the size of elements. So In this case, input n here by using symbol, this symbol name is the input symbol here. So input n, and later next one. Now after that we know that just only after inputting the number of the elements, that means 5 here, then what are the elements you want to enter into the program, that means such element we need to enter into the program through the keyboard one by one, maybe 56 or 67, 29, 18, 12, or maybe as a solution we used the element are the one is the 23, 6, 11, 24 and 5, 30, correct, no? And we know that the sum is equal to 99 and average value is equal to 16.50. So just only to access the value one by one here, we using the symbol name is called as the looping statement. And how we are going to use in our looping statement, as we know that by using our for statement. In our for statement, it possible to take 3 type of expression. The first one is the expression 1, that is called as the initialization, expression 2 final condition, expression 3 increment or decrement looping expression. So just by using looping statement I am using, and I am going to write as the for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay, from going to start from the 0 position till the n condition, till the number of the condition. As we know that why I am going to write as the 0 is equal to n minus 1, that means here 0 based indexing. What's the meaning of the 0 based indexing? The method of numbering ith element with index I minus 1 is called as the 0 based indexing, or in very simple meaning we can say that in case of the array, the position value going to start with the position 0. So maybe the number of element is equal to 6, that means here till from where to where the number of element going to take the number of element from 0 to 5, correct, no? Maybe it's a 7, that means 0 to 6. So here just I completed for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, one by one going to access the element here, and later next one whatever the element going to access from which position, it going to input the value to such position. That means we need to use the input a of I by using the symbol input a of I. So clear this point here. So first of all the number of the element here, then here I am using the flow chart or the symbol going to draw just for to access the element one after the another here, and just after that I am using the I, because we know that here not just only the one element going to access one by one element going to access here we are going to access the element one after the another. After accessing the 0 position value, then our I plus plus, that means the first position value, then later next one second position value, third position value, till where the condition becomes satisfied, till there it going to access the elements here. And later next one, after that after inputting the value here, that means sure how it going to display the number of the elements you are going to enter 5, and later what are the elements you want to enter, maybe the number of element. If let's by taking this example only, whatever the value we used in case of the solution, such value only let's take for our example. So 23 and later 6, 11 here, 24, 5, 30. So like that you are going to enter the value one after the another here, and later next one, as we know that now such value going to add into the variable sum here one by one here. So first of all we need to make the initialization to the variable sum. So that is called as sum value is equal to 0. So clear this point here. The sum value is equal to 0. We need to use here sum is equal to 0 in this case here by using our symbol. The symbol name is the process symbol. So there is no any changes. Whatever the method I used in our solution, the same thing I am going to use in our flow chart. Okay. So by using process symbol. Now later next one after that, as we know that the element of the array is then added, correct, no, to the variable sum one by one here. So just to add the value value to the variable sum one by one. That means sure we need to access from the position value. So again I am going to use the looping condition. Okay kya? And later I am going to write for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and how I am using sum is equal to sum plus a of I. As we know that first of all the sum value 0, but later words sum is equal sum plus sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Here first of all the sum value is 0, later next one 0 position value is 23, so later words will get the sum value as 23. Okay kya? And later next one about our next thing, when you are going to add the sum result, the value will get as the 29. So one by one it going to add the value of the sum. Okay, and after adding now all those value is there in our sum, that means here again and again we'll go to take the value of the sum. So clear this one, and later after completing the sum calculation, sure by using the sum value we are going to make the calculation of the average. Okay kya? So average by using the process symbol, as we know that when you are going to make sum of the calculation, then sure the process symbol going to use. So this is called as the calculation of the average. As we know that the average calculation we can do it just by using as that means as sum is going to divide by the number of the elements. Okay, yeah, this sum divide by the number of the element, sum by 9, and lastly by using output symbol going to display the sum and average, and finally going to stop the program. So clear this one here. So this is about our sum point in case of the flowchart of sum and average of the n numbers. No need to no need to tell again, no, I think so, as we know that it is called as the number of the elements. Then 1, 2, 3 is called as, here we are going to access the element one after the another. Here what are, we know that array means collection of elements, collection of the objects. So here no any one value, one element is there here, many number of the elements are there here. So it going to access one after the another, and later next one, so we need to use the sum value is equal to 0, that is called as the process symbol, and later after that just make the calculation of the sum by using the calculation sum is equal to sum plus a of I here, and later after getting the sum, then we need to go for the calculation of the average, and finally going to display the sum and average value and stop the program. Okay, and later next one is about the program by using header file #include iostream.h. When you are going to start any program, then sure by using the header file is the #include iostream.h, and the second header file to use some of the function. This function is the our getch and the clr, that is #include conio.h. And maybe you want to display the value one after the another, then we need to use the header file. Header file is the our iomanip.h. iomanip.h here, and then when you are going to start the program by using void main. Okay, and later we know that when you are going to open the flower bracket, that one is called as, it indicates the opening of the program, correct? No, it indicates the starting of the program here, and later now just only whatever I completed here, there this is just only starting of the program, and later next one what are the variables we need to use to complete our program, we need to declare the variables. So such declaration of the variables, now let's such flower bracket shall we write here. Okay, I didn't use the flower bracket twicely here, just one flower bracket I opened. So flower bracket, after the flower bracket, now let's, what are the variables? So before going to declare any variable, sure the variable going to declare by using the data type, and here I am using the data type is the int, because here maybe, or we can say that here data type is the int, maybe the some value will get as the result as the 99, the whole number. And what's the number I am going to use? 1 by 1, 23, 6, 11, 24, 5, 30, all are the whole number only. Okay, So just some of the declaration of the variable, that is int n here, and later I here, clear this one, the n value I need to declare, and later we need the value I value also, and this is called as the a of 5, clear this one. Or maybe instead of the a of 5, if you are using the size, the large number of the size, no effect in the program. So just I am using the size, that is a of 100. If you are using 5, 6, 7, no any problem, or otherwise instead of if you are using any other size, maybe 100, 150, no effect in the program. So this is called as the size, and with that we need to declare the last variable, that is the sum. Okay, so sum, and finally the statement going to terminate by using the semicolon. Okay, so what are the variable I declared? One is the n, I, a of 100, sum, and all those variables separated by using comma and terminated by using the semicolon. And also I need to declare one more variable. The variable is the average. But is it able or possible to declare such variable just by using the data type int here? No, because we know that what in our calculation we got the average result, that is 16.50. So it is a fractional point. That means sure we need to use the data type. The data type is the float. Okay, so just by using the data type float, I am declaring the variable. The variable is the average, and I am using for average as the AVG, that is called as the average. And just no any comma is that, because here just one variable going to declare. If more than one variable, such variable going to separate by comma, but in case when you are going to use one variable, directly we need to use the semicolon. Okay, kya? And after the declaration of the variable, then sure we need to use the function. The function is the CLR SCR to clear the screen, and before going to use the CLR SCR, we need to use the header file, that is the conio.h here. Okay, and later next one, now just whatever I written in flowchart, I am going to start. So in this case, first of all, to display the value, I am using the cout. Okay, and we know that the message, in case you want to display on the screen, then sure such message going to write by using double quotation, and later I am using the message input number of elements. Okay, kya? Input the number of elements. One message I am going to write, and also with that I am using the colon to look my message attractive, and later closing of the double quotation and semicolon. Clear this point here? So this is the end of the termination of the message here. And later next one, after that just only I want to input the number of the elements. Okay, to number of the elements what I used in our declaration. So in our declaration, n is called as the number of the elements. As we know that before going to take the value or the values one after the another, first of all we need to display the number of the elements. How many number of elements you want to take here? So just only sin n. Okay, sin n, that means first of all it going to display the message input number of the elements here, and later next one, after that we need to input the value, that is the 5. Okay, 5 or 6, anything here. Maybe in this solution we used 6, so on that time we need to you need to take some value, that is 6 through the keyboard. Okay, and later that means we completed till here. Now just only I want to use first, second and this coding here or this flowchart. That means sure we need to write one more message. The message is the cout enter elements one after the another. Okay, so on that time we need to enter the elements one by one. Enter the elements one by one. That means what are the elements? First of all, the message, when it's going to display the message, input number of elements. On that time we need to enter 6. Okay, we need to enter 6. After that the enter elements one by one here. On that time we need to enter 23, 6, 11, 24, 5, 30. Okay, but before going to enter we need to write the code. So how the code going to use? The code for I value is equal to 0, as we know that 23 value is there in our position 0. So I am going to start the I value is equal to 0. I already declared the variable I, so now no any problem, correct? No, I already declared the variable I, so no any problem to use the variable I, and later I is equal to 0, I less than n here, I plus plus. As we know that first of all it going to accept the 0 position value, and later then it going to check the condition 0 value less when you are going to compare with the 6 here. Yes, if the condition is true then it going to accept the value from the keyboard. Okay, so 0 position value going to access, and how it possible to access the value? By using the function sin function console input, that means which takes the input that is given by the user. Okay kya? So this is about first point here. So first of all it going to display input number of elements, then you need to enter 6 through the keyboard, then again it going to display enter elements one by one. So depend on the condition, till where the condition becomes satisfying, till that it going to access or accepting the value through the keyboard. Now that means we completed these all those flowchart here, and later next one we need to make the calculation of the sum. Okay, so in case of the calculation of the sum, first of all we need to initialize the value to the sum. So the sum value is equal to 0. So whatever is there in flowchart, in same way I am going to write in our code. Okay kya? And after accessing the value, as we know that just to make the calculation we need to access the value one after the another. So I am using for I value is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, I plus plus, and later next one after that now sum is equal to sum plus a of I. So clear this point? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ sum value is equal to 0. Now just to make the calculation of sum, the calculation is sum is equal to sum plus a of I. Sure, we need to access the value one after the another. To access the value one after the another, sure we need to use looping statement. How we are going to use the looping statement? For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay kya? So in this way we need to use the looping condition here, and after the looping condition then sure we need to use the calculation of the average. Okay kya? The calculation, that means we completed sum is equal to 0, for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, sum is equal to sum plus a of I, and later the calculation of the average. So how to do the calculation of average? And the declaration is small letter avg. So avg is equal to sum by 9. Okay, sum by n. So avg is equal to sum by n. So avg is equal to, this is the calculating the average. Okay, calculating the average here, and finally it going to display the value of the sum and average. So just only I am going to write here. So how it going to display the value of the average here? So in this case we can say that it going to display the value of average, say out. Okay, and sum is equal to number of, sum is equal to, just only in simple way shall we write the message. So it going to display the sum and average value. That means in case you want to display the value as a message, that means here we need to write sum. So sum is equal to 6. Clear this point here? So sum is equal to, and later next one sum is equal to 6 here, number or sum of 6 number is equal to sum. So what's the message it going to display? The sum of, going to display as a message n, that means it going to display what's the value of the n is that 6. So sum of 6 and again number going to display as a message, number is equal to, that means the sum value, that means here we not used the double quotation. So what's the value is that, such value going to display here. So clear this one, and later not just only the sum, with that we need to display the average value. So AVG of average of 6 number is equal to AVG. Clear this one here, AVG and line. So this is about our that means the message going to display sum of 6 number is equal to 99 and average of 6 number is equal to 16.50. as we know that double quotation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಕೊಟೇಶನ್ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಾವು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. and before going to complete the program we need to use get ch open close and finally closing of the flower bracket. So this is the program of the just to find out the sum and average of the n numbers by using our array concept. Okay, so how it going to display? First of all we'll get the message as the input number of elements through the keyboard 6. Again going to display message, enter elements one by one. You need to enter the element 23, 6, 11, 24, 5, 30. Okay, and later next one it doing the calculation of the sum average here, then going to display the message sum of 6 number is equal to 99, average of 6 number is equal to 16.50. so clear this one. So this is the program of the sum and average of the n numbers. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.